Do you know where your true value as a woman lies? It's not what you think. Uncover the secrets to attracting a man who cherishes you for who you are, not just what you do for him.
These are 4 signs that you are with a man that doesn't value you. Number 1, whenever an argument does happen between you guys, he completely flies off the handle and says the harshest things possible and even threatens to end the relationship. If he keeps doing this, then he thinks that you will never leave him because he's more important, he's the king in the hierarchy. He thinks that you basically love him more than he loves you. So he can go as deep as he wants, say the most hurtful, toxic things, simply because you'll always have him back. Number 2, he doesn't listen to you properly. When you're trying to tell him about your work or friendship situations and what's going on in your world, he gets bored easily and glazes over, and you can just tell that he's not really listening to you, and he often cuts in when you're trying to tell him stuff. He makes you feel like you're just annoying and a nuisance. Whenever you try to discuss something you're not happy about, he starts huffing and puffing and rolling his eyes and just generally treats you in an irritable manner. Number 4, he takes you and your relationship for granted. Maybe you make efforts to cook for him, clean for him, look nice and do nice things, but you never receive adoration, and he just acts like that's a given and your role as his woman and his property. If he truly loved you, it wouldn't matter how long you guys have been together, he would nurture the relationship, he would give you affirmations and make it clear that every day he's with you, he feels blessed and lucky to have such a great partner. Peace.
A man that is inconsistent with you wants you, but he does not value you. Meaning, he wants you only on his terms. He wants to play games, thinking that you will get attached and under his control. And he wants to manage your expectations of him. He can't have you expecting too much of him. Think about this the next time a guy gives you a little attention. He can like you and even want you, but it doesn't mean he values you or considers you as someone he really wants to be serious with if he's consistently inconsistent. A man that values you and cares about earning your trust, which is done through consistency and doing what he said he would. Basically, consistency builds trust and connection. Don't settle or make excuses for inconsistent behavior. Don't overthink inconsistency too much. He either is there and all in, or he is not. And so I wrote that. That is from my I've Been That Girl 2 Instagram page, which you can follow me there for all of my writings. I'm also publishing a book soon. But I wrote that because I don't like that whole, if he wanted to, he would, or he's just not that into you trope. Because normally a guy is actually into you. He's just into playing games with you because he wants you, but he does not value you. Meaning that he wants whatever's on the surface, maybe the physical, maybe he's physically attracted to you, or he's into you on the surface level of things. And so he wants you, but he wants you to want him more so that you can play whatever game he's going to play. Meaning he probably doesn't value like a committed relationship. He probably doesn't value real love, anything like that. He may not be looking for that, but he wants you, and he knows that what you want, which is a real connection, he can't provide. So he's going to play like games or whatever. So yeah, he into you. He may want you, but he does not value you. And so I want you to understand that it is important to be valued and not desired, because any and every man can desire you, but not any and every man will value you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Black Tea Podcast. Today we're diving even deeper into a crucial topic, understanding your value as a woman in relationships. As conservative Christian women, it's so important to approach relationships not just with our hearts, but also with wisdom, discernment, and a firm understanding of our inherent worth. This worth isn't defined by fleeting emotions or societal pressures, but is deeply rooted in our faith and our identity as daughters of God. I've observed a concerning trend, even within our Christian circles. There's this subtle, sometimes not so subtle message that a man's desire for you is the ultimate validation. But I want to emphasize, with all the conviction I can muster, that desire and genuine value are not interchangeable. A man might be physically attracted to you, shower you with initial attention, or even express a longing to be with you. However, this initial want doesn't automatically translate into him recognizing your inherent worth as a person, your spiritual depth, or his readiness to commit to a God-centered, respectful, and lasting relationship. We, as women, must be Able to discern this critical difference, for settling for mere want can lead down a path of heartbreak, emotional manipulation, and a significantly diminished sense of self-worth. It can leave you feeling used, unappreciated, and further away from the fulfilling relationship that God intends for you. We need to be grounded in the truth of our value, which comes from Him, before we even consider entering into a serious relationship. So the crucial question then becomes, how can you, as a discerning Christian woman, truly know if a man genuinely values you beyond just expressing a superficial desire? Here are some key indicators that I've been reflecting on, drawing from both my personal experiences, the wisdom I've gleaned from the sources, and, most importantly, the unchanging truth of God's Word. Consistency as the foundation of trust. A man who genuinely values you will demonstrate consistency in his words, actions, and behavior over time. He won't just make promises, he'll diligently follow through on them, building a solid foundation of trust. This consistency extends to all areas of the relationship, from keeping his word to being reliable in times of need. Do not make excuses for inconsistent behavior, chalking it up to him being busy or stressed. Instead, pay close attention to patterns, as these reveal his true character and level of commitment. Don't fall into the trap of thinking you can change him or mold him into the man you desire. Active listening and respectful communication. A man who values you will make a conscious effort to listen attentively to your thoughts, feelings, and opinions, even when they differ from his own. He won't dismiss your concerns, constantly interrupt you, or make you feel as though you're a nuisance or your voice doesn't matter. In a healthy, Christ-centered relationship, both partners feel genuinely heard, understood, and respected for their individual perspectives. He will create a safe space where you can express yourself openly and honestly, without fear of judgment or ridicule. Nurturing the relationship as a sacred garden. It's not solely about extravagant displays of affection or grand sweeping gestures. It's about the consistent, everyday effort to nurture the bond between you, tending to it like a sacred garden. He will show genuine appreciation for the things you do, both big and small, and will express gratitude for your presence in his life. He'll offer sincere affirmations, verbally acknowledging your strengths and qualities, and will make it abundantly clear that he feels blessed and fortunate to have you as his partner. Respecting boundaries as an act of love. A man who truly values you will unfailingly respect your boundaries, both physical and emotional. He won't pressure you into engaging in any activity or conversation that makes you feel uncomfortable or compromises your values. He'll honor your need for personal space, both physically and emotionally, and will never attempt to manipulate or control you. He will respect your no and understand that it is a complete sentence. Rejecting disrespect as a poisonous influence. Some of the most glaring signs of not being valued in a relationship include actions like cheating, blatant disrespect, emotional manipulation, and deliberate isolation. Do not attempt to rationalize or minimize these red flags. Instead, recognize them for what they are, warning signs that this relationship is not aligned with God's plan for your life. Have the courage to walk away from situations and people who diminish your worth and compromise your well-being. Now, I feel it's necessary to address a topic that has gained significant traction in contemporary discussions about relationships, one that demands a careful, discerning perspective. There's a lot of talk circulating about feminine energy, and the notion that mastering it will somehow magically cause men to chase you and become obsessed. While I wholeheartedly agree that cultivating a gentle, nurturing, and supportive spirit is an admirable quality, especially for Christian women, seeking to reflect the love and grace of Christ, we must exercise extreme caution so that it doesn't devolve into a manipulative tactic. The goal shouldn't be to strategically deploy feminine energy to control or manipulate a man's behavior, but to become the woman God has uniquely called you to be, radiating his unconditional love, demonstrating grace, and establishing healthy boundaries that protect your heart and spirit. As women, according to the sources, our value comes from more intangible qualities, such as how we make our man feel, uplift him, and support him. Are you building him up with your words? Are you someone he can confide in and trust implicitly? Our primary focus should always be on aligning ourselves with God's will, cultivating inner strength, and seeking personal growth through prayer, studying the scriptures, and engaging in meaningful service. When you genuinely embody these Christ-like qualities, you will naturally attract men who appreciate and value you for the entirety of who you are, your heart, mind, and spirit, not merely for what you can offer them or how well you perform. Some prescribed notion of feminine energy. Ladies, I want to be unequivocally clear about something. You are inherently valuable in the eyes of God. Your worth is not contingent upon your relationship status, your physical appearance, or your accomplishments. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone, least of all to a man who is blind to the incredible gift that you are. If a man consistently fails to see your value, if he treats you with disrespect, or if he consistently prioritizes his own needs and desires above yours, that is undeniably his profound loss, not a reflection of your inadequacy. Have the courage to walk away from relationships that diminish your spirit and seek out someone who genuinely cherishes you for the remarkable woman that you are. Unwavering knowledge of your worth. Possess an unshakable understanding of what you bring to the table in any relationship. Your unwavering faith, your strong moral character, your unique talents and abilities, and your capacity for unconditional love. Refuse to settle for anything less than a relationship that honors your worth and allows you to flourish as the woman God created you to be. Unapologetically high standards. Don't be afraid to set your standards exceptionally high, not in a superficial or materialistic sense, but in terms of character, mutual respect, shared values rooted in faith, and an unwavering commitment to building a Christ-centered partnership. Prioritizing yourself as an act of self-love. Make a conscious decision to prioritize your own well-being, physical, emotional, mental, and, most importantly, spiritual, and actively pursue personal growth independent of any romantic relationship. Fill your life with purpose, passion, and joy, engaging in activities that bring you closer to God and allow you to use your gifts to serve others. Ultimately, dear sisters, our true and enduring value originates from God alone. We are fearfully and wonderfully made in His perfect image, each of us possessing unique gifts and talents meant to be used for His glory. When we are firmly grounded in the knowledge of our worth in Christ, we will never settle for anything less than a relationship that honors Him in every way and cherishes us as the precious daughters He has created us to be. That's all the time we have for today's episode. I sincerely hope that this discussion has encouraged you to thoughtfully reflect on your relationships and to embrace a deeper understanding of your true value as a woman of God. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Black Tea Podcast for more faith-filled conversations. And please share your thoughts in the comments below. What qualities do you value most in a relationship? Until our next steeping session, remain steadfast in your faith and keep steeping.